How did you feel the day that you joined your MLM company? Were you nervous? Were you excited? Were you confident? Were you apprehensive? Were you fearful that nobody would ever join you? Did you know that everybody was going to join you? What thoughts and feelings went through your head when you said, yes, you wanted to join MLM? I was excited when I realized that I could build a business by sharing my MLM opportunity with other people and then go and help them share the opportunity with the people that they knew. Other jobs that I'd done in the past and other jobs that my friends and my spouse had done required you to outperform other people on your team. When you helped other people, there was always a worry that they could now replace you and you could lose your job. We had a friend that worked for a big company in our town, and they actually decided to move this whole big company out of the country. And it was his job to train his replacements. Well, that isn't the case with MLM. In network marketing, you're encouraged and you're actually rewarded for helping other people accomplish their goals. The only way to be successful in MLM is to help other people be successful. And the best part about MLM is that there is flexibility in how you build your MLM team, and there's no boss telling you what to do each day. Unfortunately, that can also lead to challenges when you're building your team. If you don't do this correctly and you don't end up leading them down the right path, you'll end up with a network marketing team that depends on you to do everything for them. In this episode, I'm going to share with you 5 things that you can do in order to become the network marketing leader that you want to be and that other people want to follow. Click on that link in the description below to get your free copy of the Social Media Igniter. It is the spark plug for your MLM business, and it will light your network marketing business on fire. It will guide you through the activities that you need to do daily in order to build a strong network marketing business. Also, make sure that you punch that like button and subscribe, because I put out a new video every single week with tips and tricks for network marketers that want to build an MLM business using social media. Tip number 1, identify who the leaders on your team are. Now, the keyword in that sentence is identify. You don't get to pick who those leaders are going to be. They're going to identify themselves based upon their actions. I had an amazing group of MLM leaders in the Texas area, and every single week they put on opportunity meetings, and they picked up team members to make sure that they attended those meetings, and they called prospects and leads together, and they had incredible weekly training meetings. And consequently, those leaders stood out and they got noticed by major leaders throughout our MLM company. Regardless of their rank on your team, who are the members of your MLM team that are constantly taking action to build their MLM team? Who are your network marketing team members that check in with you and ask for help and advice? Who are your team members that attend your conventions and trainings? Who are the people in your downline and on your team that are calling you, that are asking for help, that are begging to be noticed and stand out? Those are the people on your team that you need to be spending your time and energy on. Don't chase the people that are not chasing you. These team members might not be having success yet. Maybe they haven't recruited anybody. Maybe they don't have any customers yet even. But they are raising their hand to let you know that they are committed to doing what it takes in order to be successful in MLM. They're identifying themselves as leaders. Spend the time with the people that deserve it and are doing their part. When they're attending conventions, when they're showing up at the trainings, when they're posting on social media, when they're calling their friends, when they're sharing their opportunity, they are telling you that they are leaders. They're going to do what it takes even when it's hard. And they're showing you that they're going to take action even when you're not there to hold their hand. Spend your time with your MLM leaders that are taking the initiative to grow their team, because you're not having to call them, you're not having to bug them, you're not having to see if they're doing what they're supposed to be doing, because you just know that they are doing what a leader does and that they are in fact taking ownership of their business. Number 2, lead by example. Are you attending the trainings and conventions? Even if you think you don't need the training, go anyway. It might be a stretch. It might be a sacrifice. There are team members on our team that go with a cooler full of peanut butter and jelly sandwiches because they want to go. They know that they will get something out of it. And they know that you're going and they don't want to disappoint you. Somebody on your team needs that training. And if you don't go, then they won't go because they won't think it's important. Leaders lead by example. When you and your team members attend the trainings and conventions, you are surrounded by people that are headed in the same direction that you are, and that momentum is contagious. Be an active participant in the trainings. Even if you've heard the speakers before, even if you don't have any other members of your team that are committed to going, or you don't have anybody that's joined your team yet, make sure that you go to these trainings and conventions. And don't hang out in the hall. Leaders go into the meetings. Hang out in that room with your team members. Actively take notes. Be listening, pay attention, and be engaged with the speaker. If there's speakers that you don't like, don't talk badly about them or criticize them, because different people on your team are going to relate differently with different speakers. And after the conventions, you can actually compare notes. Talk about what your favorite takeaways were. Talk about the things that you're going to implement that day in your business. Tip number 3, make it easy for your team to attend the events. Remove the friction and their excuses for not coming. Share a hotel room or an Airbnb and split the cost. Arrange to all carpool to the event together. If you have team members that are flying in for the event, arrange to pick them up at the airport or where to go pick up that Uber. It can be overwhelming and daunting to come into a training when you don't know anybody in the city. And so if you can make it really easy and let them know that you're going to be there waiting for them and that they're not going to be alone, that might be the difference between some of your team members choosing to come and some of your team members choosing not to participate. Reach out to those new team members that might be shy or nervous about attending. Let them know that you're going to be sitting with them. They're not going to be at the convention alone. I only had a handful of MLM team members when I attended my very first convention. And we sat up on the very front row on the far left side of the room. And from then on, that became our team's tradition. And since that very first convention, that has now become our go-to spot in our team's tradition. We sit up on that front left corner every single time. And the leaders on our team go early and save spots. And all of our team members know where to sit every single time. And they know that they're going to have friends to sit with. It alleviates the text messages and the calls where you're trying to reach people and trying to scramble and hoping that you're going to have a place to sit together when you get there. Arrange that spot at your convention. Pick a spot that not a lot of people are racing to get to. We found out that the middle of the room was really hard, that everybody scrambled there, and then their afterthought was to kind of go to the outskirts of the room. So we started out at the outskirts of the room. Find that go-to for your team. Is your go-to going to be right outside the convention center at a designated spot? Are you going to have your seating area inside the room where everybody knows where to go? But make a gathering spot so that people know. Are you going to just know where it is every single time? Maybe you have a special sign that you're going to hold up to let other members of your team know where you are, so that everybody comes together and it's a family event with all of these team members. Tip number 4, do your ABCs. Just like in elementary school and grade school, your ABCs are crucial to your success in network marketing. ABC, always be creating relationships. Do not go into management mode. It will kill the momentum of your business faster than anything else. When I started out as a team of one person, just me, I was contacting prospects like crazy in an effort to find my friends and other people that would be interested in joining my MLM team. I loved training people. I loved team building. I loved that camaraderie when team members would join my team. However, I felt super awkward and really weird talking to people initially about joining my network marketing opportunity. I was shy. I was scared to reach out to people. I was fearful of what they'd say. I didn't want to face that rejection. Consequently, as people began joining my MLM team and I started to grow a downline and a team of my own, I got really excited because I thought that meant that I could stop creating relationships and actively talking to new people about my MLM. I didn't want to share it anymore. I wanted to work with what we already had. I thought it was great, right? I went into management mode. I became like that boss trying to direct everybody and making sure that everybody was doing what they were supposed to be doing. Because I wasn't scared to talk to my team members' friends, and I wasn't scared to talk to people I didn't know. As soon as I shifted my focus and I tried to be like that CEO sitting in an office overseeing what everybody was doing, and I started trying to micromanage my team's momentum stopped in its tracks. Everybody on my team went into management mode. The speed that you as the leader are taking is going to dictate and determine the speed of your team. If you avoid doing things, your team also won't do them. They will follow and copy your lead. Even if you don't like doing things, if they're going to build your business, do it. No matter what state in the company you are, no matter what rank or what income you're making. Because as soon as you stop doing those activities, everybody else will stop doing those activities. And they'll all go into management mode and they'll all kind of drift away and you won't know where everybody went. Tip number 5, no excuses. When I started out, I hosted opportunity meetings at my home. I had upline leaders that would drive in from out of state or several hours away to present at my home meetings. Now, what I'd envisioned was that it would be like that movie Field of Dreams. And I thought that if I did my part and I scheduled the meetings and I called people to attend, then people would come. But in reality, that's not always what happened. Some meetings I'd have friends that would tell me that they were coming and then they just wouldn't show up. Other weeks I'd scramble and call everybody I could think of and even people I didn't know to come, and nobody would show up. Nobody would be able to come that night. Now, when stuff like that happens, I wanted to just cancel it and take the night off and go out to dinner instead. But I did a couple things to make sure that excuses were not getting in my way. First of all, I reached out to everybody in my area that were also distributors in this company, regardless of whether or not they were on my team. And I opened it up and invited them to bring their guests to come and their team members to come. That way I knew that I had to have that meeting no matter what. And if I was going to have that meeting, then I might as well have my own guests there as well. The second thing that I did was I decided that I was never going to let myself off the hook or give myself a reason for not having a meeting. There were some meetings that none of my guests showed up and none of the other leaders in the area showed up. And when that happened and nobody showed up, I feel really tempted to just cancel it and take the night off or go out to dinner with my upline that was in town and call it like, a training meeting. Let's do another training meeting. However, I knew that that was not going to build my network marketing team. If I wanted more people to show up, then I needed to be showing it to more people. So instead of taking that night off, my upline leader and I would jump in a car and show up at people's houses and ask them if we could show them something. If there was nobody at home, we'd jump on the phone and we'd start calling people out of state. Things aren't always going to work out as ideally as you want them to in your business, but if you're constantly doing what you are supposed to be doing, even when it's hard, that sends a message. It sends a message not only to yourself, it also sends a message to your entire team and all of the leaders in the team that you are going to do what it takes. No excuses. If you've got a Zoom call scheduled and nobody shows up, use that time to jump on Facebook and do a training on Facebook or a training for your team or do a special opportunity meeting online that people online can show up to that maybe didn't know about your Zoom call that you were doing. Don't waste the time that you have. Find a way to fill it with activities that will build your business, because excuses won't build your business. Taking massive action will. Thanks for watching today. If there are trainings that you'd like me to do on this channel, go ahead and drop those in the comments below so that I can do those in future episodes. Also, make sure that you click on that link to go get the social media igniter, because it will light your network marketing business on fire by giving you those daily activities that will bring a return for your business. In addition, make sure that you punch that like button and that you subscribe so that you don't miss any of the weekly trainings that I do for MLM leaders that want to grow their business using social media. See you next time.